All right, making it work. Cool, we're gonna make it work now. I'm pretty sure I made it work the first time. But let's make it work. The idea is, how do I trap this? There's a million ways that somebody could be holding mount, but there's only one thing that's gonna tie them all together, and it's them being a part of your hips. So the hands could be touching the mat. They could have you in a headlock. They could have two hands on your head. They could have a million ideas on what mount should be. But to be mounted, you're gonna have to be on top of me, and I want you as a part of my hips. That's a forever thing. I don't get to do any cool escapes unless you're a part of my hips. Done. So let's talk about getting to the hips. I'll get you to hop on top of me one more time, and I want you to come up a little bit higher and sit up straight. Freeze here. The idea for me is I don't want you to fall, don't touch the mat, just kind of find some balance. I can always connect to my partner, okay? There's no version of this where I should be doing something like this. My elbows are gonna stay tucked and tight to my partner. I'm gonna lift my hips and I'm gonna put the weight in my shoulders. Now when I put the weight in my shoulders, I can walk on my shoulders, keeping him in place. I want you to scoot back a little bit with me. And I want you, when I start to do this, I want you to walk up high mount. High mount. Come back. High mount. It's not happening, is it? Okay. The idea is to transfer the weight from your feet to your elbows and lift your hips. Walk forward, and it's hard to do, right? Now, let's say you grab onto this sleeve and you lift. You win. Come back. Lift. I'm not gonna go. I don't have to lift. No, I don't ever have to do what this other person wants me to do. I need to follow my own rules. My rules are click, I'm not moving, move them. Move my arms. You're a part of me. I don't ever have to do what you want. There's three forms of connection. When you hear me say the word connection, it gets like weirdly esoteric and shit. It's not. You can connect to the ground, you can connect to the opponent, and then you can connect to yourself. Once you learn how to connect to those things, all three of them go together. That's what makes your jiu-jitsu good. That's what jiu-jitsu actually is, and then you can plug and play moves, right? So the idea of, if I was laying here and I just go, that's one part of me, But if I lock my core and I become one solid unit, when I move, okay? When I'm trying to make sure that this person stays as a part of my hips, I'm not using my limbs versus their body. I connect my limbs to them, and then I move me. That's a skill. That's a very acquired skill. It takes time, and it takes proper explanation. What you should feel when you're doing that, can I get you to stand up over me with 2 feet? Let's get weird about this. And I want you to hold on to my sleeves, and I want you to start to lift. That's easy to do. Same thing, go. That's weird, right? So my feet are connected to my arms. I'm gently, yeah, you can check. Again, go. You win. Come back. Go. Just checking. Yeah, I'm not going. Okay, time. What I want you to concentrate on is that all of you can be one thing. It doesn't have to be limb versus limb, and you don't have to go upside down for shit. The idea is you're gonna connect to yourself to move. When I move, if I start to walk on my shoulders, my elbows come down, my feet push into my elbows, and then I walk on my shoulders, my hips will go down. What I recommend is learn how to do this warm-up. Walk on your shoulders and your feet so that your hips don't go down. That entire time, this person is becoming a part of your hips, and they're already off base. When they're off base, they're gonna have to connect to the ground in some way. To you, to the ground, to sitting up straight. Whatever they're doing can be used against them. So, the detail that makes it work is making sure that they become a part of you so that you can move you instead of them.